Hello, my name is Tiffany and this is my channel Thriving Lively, and today I just wanted to get on here and talk about the differences between the starch solution and Dr. Fuhrman's Eat to Live diet or the Nutritarian diet. I have mentioned the Nutritarian diet before in my videos. Someone asked me about it, and I just thought I would kind of give you like my take on both of them. And because it still is like, you know, the start of a new year, and there's a lot of people looking to change their lifestyle, I just kind of wanted to, I don't know, share my experience with both of them and why I am choosing to follow a starch solution lifestyle now, whereas before I used to eat more Nutritarian and follow Dr. Fuhrman. So this is all just like my take on it. It's not like super in-depth or anything. I know there are some videos that are like an hour or something long, and I tried watching a couple of them, but my attention span is that of a gnat. So I have a couple of things written down, so if you see me glance down. So Dr. Fuhrman is like a firm believer in a plant-based diet. He is all about your ultimate health and longevity. And so his diet is based around greens. There are really limited starches. He gives you a acronym. It's G-BOMBs. So there's G for greens, B for beans, O for onion, M for mushrooms, B for berries, and S for seeds and nuts. And so those are what he wants you to incorporate in your meals every day. And he wants you to eat one large salad every day. And he always says that the salad is your main, like the main part of the meal. It's your entree. And so you're supposed to have 1 pound of like raw veggies and then 1 pound of like cooked veggies. And specifically for like the weight loss portion of his diet, he wants you to at least have 1 cup of beans. And that's really the only starch he talks highly about in his like books, because beans are like in his eyes the best, which I think most of the plant-based doctors kind of feel the same way, that the beans are kind of like superior because they have a lot of resistant starches. They, you know, really help regulate your blood sugar levels, and they help your digestion, and they feed the good bacteria in your gut. So their beans kind of are a superfood. And so he really wants people, if they're going to eat starches, to have beans. And then on his 6-week like weight loss kind of guidelines, you are allowed 1 serving size of another kind of starch, so like a half of a cup of rice. And then he's really big on nutrient density, and so that he like rates everything on a scale. It used to be called the Andy scale. I think he changed it, so I'm not really sure what it is. And I actually have a book somewhere in my pile of books over here. It's somewhere back here. It gives you a list of like what has the highest nutrient density per like calorie. But like just kind of a short version for you guys. Leafy greens always right at the top. They're like 100, and then it goes down to a 50 for other non-starchy veggies, 25 for colorful starches, and then 20 for whole grains and like white potatoes. And fruits are in between the 100 and the 50. I think they're like at a 70 or an 80. And so he kind of has everything, you know, like a common food to eat. He like rates everything. And so for just like the difference between the two, he is like super on it with like your green veggies. You have to have the green veggies. Green veggies mean longevity, healthy life. And with that, he also really promotes having omega-3s because it helps like your DHA. And so he really encourages you to have like flax or a small amount of nuts and seeds. And I think soybeans and tofu are on his list of things to eat. And so just looking, I mean, it's not a lot. They're like, it's like an ounce. So he wants you to have a tablespoon of the flax, but just an ounce of it. So it's not a lot. And he does, like, during your 6 weeks of trying to lose weight, or it's got the 6-week plan that he has out, he wants you to limit like avocado to, I think, 2 ounces. And so it's still lower in fat, but he really does promote the health benefits of eating some fats in your diet, even when you are trying to lose weight. And so with a starch solution, from what I can kind of, gather in my head or estimate in my head, it's really just starch based. It's, you get all your calories from starches, and you eat the other stuff to help keep you full, but your main source of, vitamins and everything is coming from the starches. And I really like the health benefits and the way Dr. Furman kind of breaks everything down. I think he is really passionate about just like having a really long and healthy life. And so I always try to incorporate that in my diet now. And I followed this before I got pregnant the second time, but after my pregnancy and during my pregnancy, I had a really hard time eating all the greens and everything. And when I have a Crohn's flare, it's kind of the same thing. You don't want to eat that kind of stuff because you're not feeling well. And I think that's why I had such a hard time getting back on it after I had my second daughter. And so when I found the starch solution, it was kind of like a moment, just because when I was following the Nutritarian diet, I wouldn't be able to have like oats in the morning and then rice for dinner. And if you're on any of the forums, it's very, very like you're either on it or you're not. And so it always kind of felt like I was failing at it, which I don't think is the purpose. And you don't, you want to just strive to be healthy, and you always want to strive to do just a little bit better and just, be the healthiest person you can be. But I always felt like a failure. I always ended up binging. I eat a ton of candy. Like, I would hide jelly beans in my sock drawer. Like, these are things that, I don't know. I haven't done since I started the starch solution. I don't have any cravings like that. As long as I'm eating enough starches, I feel so full, and I feel like I'm getting, I don't know, like way healthier just because I'm not eating all the other stuff with it. And so that's kind of why I am like more on the starch solution. I still try to have my G-bombs every day. I don't always get raw veggies in. I really like having a creamy like dressing on my salads, and so that has been a little hit and miss with me. During the summer, I can just use a vinegar, I don't care, or lemon and lime. But during the winter time, for whatever reason, I like having warm salads with my cold, like raw leafy greens. I like warm rice and a creamy vegan ranch, but those are really high in fat, so I haven't been doing that. But I do try to eat like mushrooms and onions, and I eat berries every morning with my oatmeal, and I eat flax every day. So I do incorporate a lot of that in there just because I do strive to be healthy. It's really not just about the weight loss. It is about being healthy, for me at least. I know other people that don't have health issues, it's like, I completely understand that you want to lose weight. You don't want to have to carry that around with you. And I feel the same way. For me, that has become secondary because I have health issues. But those are the differences between the two. And I don't know. I know, like, I've talked a little bit about plateauing and everything on the starch solution. And I have since, gotten off the plateau. I'm still I'm not losing very fast, but I joined the Eat More, Weigh Less program from Kiki and Hannah. And I don't know if any of you guys have heard of it or have thought about joining or have joined. I find it to be extremely beneficial for me. The community is always really good. I think anytime you have a community of people that are going through the same thing, eating the same way, having the same kind of troubles or questions that you have, it's like a gold mine just to have that there with you. But I think it's also just the way it's laid out so nicely. And they have like a section, you know, of just like building your plate, kind of learning the ins and outs of why, you know, you're eating the way that you're like, you know, all the starches and the 50-50 plate. And then they teach you how to build the plate, and they teach, or not teach, but I guess they go over like mindset and how to kind of figure out a way to make this a part of your lifestyle. And it's just kind of like a good reminder, even if you know all of the stuff, which I feel like, you know, you can read the books, you have it, but there's still, you know, this gap. And I think that when you have that gap, like hiring a coach or, you know, finding a community where you can get that extra like help is really beneficial. So for me, I am really happy that I joined it. And I think that it's really helping me continue on just like being healthier and losing a little bit more weight. So I just thought I would share that with you because I've really enjoyed it. I'm like 3 weeks in and I'm like, you know, I'm back on it. So it's been great. Anyway, if you guys have any questions, hopefully I didn't confuse anyone anymore, but if you guys have any questions or anything at all about the program or about Nutritarian diet, just, you know, ask in the comments. If you like my content, just subscribe or give me a thumbs up. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you in the next video.